Do you ever set goals and then never actually achieve them? You get excited for a week, you plan, you visualize, you even write them down, but then nothing changes. You get bored, you get frustrated, and you start wondering, am I the problem? But the problem is, it's not your motivation. The problem is that you're setting your goals the wrong way. The way you set up your goals, it sets them up for failure. And that's what makes you frustrated. And in this video, I will explain to you how you can set your goals the right way to live a better life and to have the goals achieved that you want to achieve. I will change the way you think about goals, and in the end, I'll leave you a bonus tip, so stick around until then. The reason, number one, is because you're not making the goals that you actually want. Most people set their goals, but because they think those goals is what they should want, but it's not what they actually want. They get goals that are on social media, from school, from parents, from friends, but those goals are not actually what excites them. I should get fit. I should earn 6 figures. I should start my own company. But the problem is, when you should do something, but it lacks the momentum that you should be creating. And I too used to set my goals up like that. I used to write them down on paper and think these goals is actually what I want, but it's actually what my environment was telling me. So when I was doing that, it was going to the gym a couple of times a week with a friend. But as soon as my friend did not go, I lacked the motivation to go, because why did I want to go? I was only going because he was going. And back then, that was the lack of motivation, because it was not actually what I wanted. It was following through with my friend, but it was not my goal. And so because that did not excite me, my motivation stopped lacking as soon as it had the chance. So the first rule is, do not set goals to impress people. Set goals that express you. So ask yourself this question: if no one could see what you're doing, if no one could look at what you are trying to achieve, would you still be doing that one thing? That exact question changes everything in the way you set goals. So problem number 2 is that you do not set your goals into systems. Writing goals down will give you a direction, but a system will give you that momentum that you need to keep moving forward. So let's say your goal is to get fit. Then you could define your system in a way like, every morning I'm going to be walking for 20 minutes before I check my phone. Or every morning I'm going to work out for 20 minutes before I even check my phone. Make those actions small, make them consistent, and make them repeatable. Atomic Habits has a great quote about this. You don't rise to the system of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And this is true for every part in life. Because if you only focus on the outcome, you will get overwhelmed, you will feel behind, and you will start to realize, why am I not at this exact goal yet? But then you do start to create the systems, and you do start to fulfill those systems every time. You stop quitting, you stop being unmotivated, and you actually know that you're achieving and you're progressing every day. Because every time you show up, you're proving to yourself that you are capable of living that new life. You are capable to hitting those goals, and that builds trust in yourself. I've had a nice experience about this recently. At the start of July, I injured my thumb, as you might have noticed in some of the videos where I was wearing a bracer on my thumb. And up until then, I was exercising every morning. And when you only set goals and don't create systems, you easily get unmotivated, like, oh, I cannot work out, I cannot do push-ups, I cannot do this exercise. But because I was so used to it, because I created that momentum and created the systems in order to build on my life, I found an easy way. I switched some exercises so that I could still work out every day. It was different, but I was still going on to my goal, my process to get fitter. So that's a nice example of what happens if you build systems instead of goals. So why don't you comment down below, what is one small system that you implemented this week? I'd love to hear it, and I will respond to each and every one of your comments. And we get to problem number 3. Build identity-based goals. Because here's the third and most important thing of the 3. You need to stop setting goals based on what you want your life to be. And this will probably confuse you. You will probably be thinking, but what did you just talk about then? But it's actually that when your identity aligns with your actions, then everything changes. So don't say, I want to read more. Say something like, I want to develop my brain capacity every day and I want to keep on learning. Don't say, I want to work out more. Say, I want to be physically active every single day. And by doing that, your brain starts to catch up on that identity. It stops being about motivation and it starts being about integrity. And for me, when I started telling myself that I am the kind of person that shows up every day, that is when my life changed. About 1.5 to 2 years ago, I started building my new identity. I started building the identity that I wanted to become a fit person, to become a knowledgeable person. And when you start making those promises to yourself, that is when your confidence grows. And I've actually had a friend of mine that used to not really want to talk to me because I was usually busy with gaming, busy with other stuff. But nowadays she actually comes to me for advice because I created the identity for myself to be knowledgeable, because I created the identity for myself to be fit and to keep on exercising. And now they come to me for the advice. And how beautiful is that? So here's your bonus tip. So actually, number 4. You need to make it emotional, not logical. Because goals don't fall because you're lazy, they fall because you're lifeless. And if your goal doesn't move you emotionally, you will quit as soon as you get the chance. Because remember, logic sets goals, emotions achieve them. So before you choose a goal, close your eyes and think about what do I actually want to achieve. And the thing that I want to achieve, is it actually for me? And not because it's good for me, but because it actually means something to me. If you start asking yourself that question, you will know that you are emotionally aligned with what you want to accomplish. So attach your goal to something bigger than the number on your scale, the number on your bank, or the amount of likes on a post that you made on social media. So attach it to a feeling like freedom, growth and discipline, because that is what keeps you going when the motivation starts to slack. So let's bring it all together. If you ever felt stuck or unmotivated, it's not because you were lacking the motivation. It was because you were setting the goals the wrong way. So step number 1 was to stop going for borrowed goals. Step number 2 was to build systems and not goals. Step number 3 is to align your actions with your identity. And the bonus tip was make it emotional, not logical. Because when you align your goals with who you are, it stops feeling like pressure and it will start to feel like peace. So if this video gained clarity for you, hit that subscribe button down below. and be prepared for my next video. In my video next week, I will be diving into finding out whether your goals are aligned for you or from someone else, so you can live up to your own expectations. So remember, hit down in the comments which system are you building this week. I want to thank you for watching, and remember to keep growing and keep moving forward, and I'll see you in the next one.